This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Tuesday, July 2nd, 2024. I'm Sarah Simcox. WWE last week announced plans to bring its three biggest shows, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and the Royal Rumble, to Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis over the next 8 years. Executive Vice President Chris Legentil said key attributes of downtown Indy played a major factor in the decision.
Indianapolis is a fantastic big event city. We've seen the Super Bowl come here, Final Four, the Olympic swim trials obviously were here in the past couple weeks. And I think what we heard over and over again from people who came to town was this city knows how to do big events well. Everything is easy to get to, the fans are great, people are very welcoming, and I think that those reasons all brought us to a decision to bring our three biggest events here to Indy.
The Royal Rumble will be in Indy next February, while dates for the other shows have not yet been announced. John Shannon began his tenure as president of Trine University on June 1st, 2023. Just over a year later, the university's board of trustees announced it has accepted Shannon's resignation. Trine did not disclose a reason for the move, but said former President Earl Brooks will return to the role until a permanent successor is found. Knox County, Indiana Economic Development has announced plans for a $35 million apartment project designed to support talent attraction and retention in Vincennes. When complete in 2026, the project is expected to bring 240 market-rate apartments to the area. From the #1 source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care, and deliveries keep moving. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
The Family and Social Services Administration says it will stop enforcing collections of premium-like payments. IIB's Alex Brown has more.
The agency announced the move Monday, the same day it was set to restart the program. The action comes after a Thursday ruling from a federal judge striking contributions to power accounts for Indiana's Medicaid expansion enrollees. The Healthy Indiana Plan, otherwise known as HIP 2.0, provides coverage for non-disabled, moderate-income adults between the ages of 19 and 64, and was first introduced in 2007 under the Daniels administration, with the federal government covering 90% of costs for enrollees. However, the federal government granted the state a special waiver to require a monthly variable power account contribution that reportedly confused many enrollees and disproportionately caused Black Hoosiers to lose access to coverage. The judge ruled that federal regulators erred when they granted the state authority to charge the contributions, alongside state rules regarding retroactive coverage and non-emergency medical transports. Advocacy groups applauded the ruling, which community organization group Hoosier Action called a burdensome barrier to care. The state's Medicaid director, Cora Steinmetz, said Monday the implications of the decision are far-reaching, and the FSSA is still evaluating the impact for the state and the 762,000 Hoosiers who rely on health care coverage through the Healthy Indiana Plan. Alex Brown, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
The IU Health Foundation has launched its All the Difference, the campaign for Indiana's health, in West Central Indiana. The campaign, part of a statewide fundraising effort, supports a multi-pronged approach to make Indiana one of the healthiest states in the country. The campaign is designed to fund IU Health hospital-based initiatives to help Hoosiers avoid and treat illness and injury. Programs addressing social factors that contribute to poor health will also be eligible to receive funding. With a statewide campaign goal of $200 million, funds will be applied toward cardiovascular care, workforce development, cancer care, orthopedics, neuroscience, infant and maternal health improvement. A new report from the Indiana State Department of Agriculture shows that the state lost an estimated 350,000 acres of farmland from 2010 to 2022. Director Dawn Lamb said that while farmland acreage dropped nearly 2%, the findings of the inventory of lost farmland weren't totally surprising.
It's really information that we gathered from all 92 counties, and so you've got a lot of different sources, and so over that time, it's a little hard to track everything perfectly to get the absolute best information, but it's a significant number, and it's a number, we knew the number would be significant. I don't know that we expected it to be higher or lower, but it does tell us that there is something there that we need to keep an eye on.
The report found that agricultural land was most likely to be lost in areas around the edges of cities and suburban areas, and the primary cause of that loss was due to residential use. You can connect to the full report at InsideIndianaBusiness.com. New Indiana State University President Mike Goddard is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Sarah Simcox for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.